Today we're joined by Dallen Stanford, a former U.S. Rugby Sevens player, a World Rugby commentator, and one of the most recognizable voices in rugby broadcasting. Hi Dallen, how are you?
Great, thanks for having me.
Amazing, amazing. We are so excited to have you today. Do you have any predictions for upcoming Prem League matches this season?
Well, I think it's going to be another exciting season. PREM Rugby continues to deliver. They have some of the best players in the world at their disposal. I loved watching last season, watching Bath Rugby. What's so fascinating to me is the storylines. Bath were in the final the year before and lost. Then they came back the next year and won it. So I think those kind of things really kind of are fascinating to follow and to track. So I'm excited to see how Bath go again now that they've got the target on their back. But there are so many other great teams in the league. A lot of my friends used to play for Saracens, so I have a special spot for them as well.
That's so fun. For American fans who are getting into rugby, are there any players or teams that we should be keeping an eye on for ourselves?
So that's a good question. I would say watch all the teams play. Just number one, because they're different styles, contrasting ways of teams playing. Having so many players from around the world meshed together in the UK is fascinating. I used to not watch a lot of Prem back in the day. And then they changed their style, more free-flowing rugby, which I was used to in Super Rugby. So it's really an intriguing league. I would say watch every team, and if you find a team that you like, that'll be your team moving forward.
Absolutely. Rugby is full of traditions and rituals. Was there one that you really enjoyed being a part of during your playing days?
Yes, it's interesting. I had one of my captains for the USA. He'd bring us together before we were playing on a tournament, and he would say, look around the room, look at every single face. And he said, this group will never be assembled again. And it was fascinating because at the time you just think, oh, whatever, but you don't realize when your time is done, it doesn't happen again. But the tradition I really liked was handing over the jerseys, the ceremony. They'd bring somebody special that has represented the US before. They would talk about their time playing and then present you with your jersey in a really special time.
That's so amazing. I actually talked to Coach Lawrence earlier and he said the same thing, and he had a whole collection of it. So I love that tradition. You've commented some of the biggest stadiums in the world. Do you have a favorite venue or atmosphere that you've called from?
Yes, I would say working in Japan was amazing at the Rugby World Cup. The Japanese fans were tremendous. But being in France for the 2023 Rugby World Cup, I got the honor of calling South Africa against Ireland, and it was when Ireland won in the pool stages, and the atmosphere was ridiculous to start to France. Packed stadium, over 80,000 people, but everybody was in such a great spirits even after the game. South Africa knew that they could still advance, and Ireland had just beaten, the defending champions. Those moments will live with me forever.
That's incredible. What is your home team from the URC that you support?
Yes, so the Stormers are my team out of the Western Cape of South Africa. I grew up in Cape Town, spent my first 25 years there before emigrating to the US, so I'll always support them. They've had some unbelievable seasons in the past. They have been crowned champions in the URC in 2022, I think it was, but they have struggled as well because the Irish teams are phenomenal. So I will say, and Scottish as well. I just love the fact that all these teams are coming together. It's a good flavour for South Africa to play in the Northern Hemisphere, I think, as well. Super Rugby was an amazing time when all those teams were playing together, but we have the Rugby Championship, so the fact that the Stormers are playing the URC, I think it's great.
With the US making it into the 2027 World Cup, and it's set to be hosted here in 2031, what do you foresee for rugby in the US?
It's a big moment for the US to be at a World Cup, and it's such an honor, and we were chatting to Todd Clever as well, who captained the US in a few World Cups. Just to get there, I think is massive for our sport, because people watching at home, they can support their country playing, and that's, I think, is big. The women's bronze medal Olympic team for the USA put rugby on the map in America because of what they did. Whenever I walk across the street and like, oh, you're involved in rugby? We know Alona Mar, or we watch her and follow her. So I think that's very big, and I think the men's side of it need a big moment to be at that World Cup, to get tested. You never know who they could beat in that tournament, and that leans nicely into hosting the World Cup. So people get to see, okay, we know rugby, our team is, one of the, I wouldn't say the top side in the world, but we are getting there. The women's sides are doing tremendously well as well. So I think it's very big for our sport to represent, and obviously for fans to actually feel and touch the game, to go to a game. That's important. American football has obviously dominated here when it comes to physical sports, but when I have friends and family that see rugby, they say this sport is so exciting. No pads, all action, no stopping. I'm like, exactly, that's why we love it.
Yes, and we do love it, and I love watching rugby, and I'm so excited to see you on my screen. Where can we find you on our screens next?
Yes, so I'm very excited to be here with Assie's Lounge, be back again for doing several more shows, which is great. I'm also involved in 10s as well. There's 10s rugby that's taken off. I'll be doing a lot more 7s and 15s. So kind of just, all around and all abouts, but very excited to be here with FloRugby.
Amazing. It was such a joy to have you, and we are so excited to have you on our screens more.
Thank you so much. I appreciate all you do and all support for the game.